Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to our Monday, May 15th school board meeting. We will start with our agenda approval, deletions, additions. Dr. Veraco.
Thank you, Mrs. Seuss. You do have an original agenda from last Thursday before you for approval this evening.
Motion to approve?
Motion by Mrs. Kelly,
Second.
second by Dr. Medlin. Any discussion, questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Is there any correspondence this evening?
Oh, we do not have any this evening.
Thank you. And because we have many recognitions, we will forego our liaison committee updates, if that's all right with all. Okay?
Absolutely.
And we'll move right into our official school board business topics consent agenda. Dr. Veraco.
Thank you again, Mrs. Seuss. Seek board approval for the minutes from our executive session and regular board meetings on May 1st. Also seek board approval for the claims, payroll, and extracurricular expenditures that you received in your packets last week.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Marshall.
I'll second that.
Second by Dr. Malco. Any discussion, questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. There is no public comments regarding action items, so we'll move right into our official school board business topics regular agenda. Dr. Veraco.
Thank you. Our first item this evening is to see a class presentation from Ms. Pavlina and the Bibbich kindergarten class. So should we move into the audience for this?
Yes, because we're going to put a little movie.
Very good. We'll do that.
We need to bring our card with us.
Bring your card with you. My card?
Don't peek.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. So tonight we have some very, very smart little people in the room with us. Boys and girls, raise your hand if you're still 5. Raise your hand if you're 6. They are so smart, and we cannot wait for them to show us everything they've learned in kindergarten. Please join us in welcoming Mrs. Pavlina's class from Bibbich.
I'd like to say thank you to, I lost everyone, Dr. Bracy and Dr. Veraco and the rest of the board for inviting us tonight. We are a little excited to be here, aren't we? Yes. I feel so fortunate to work at Lake Central and to be a kindergarten teacher and have a job that I love going to every morning. We have the best corporation, and we have the most amazing staff at Bibbich. It's a pleasure to be able to work with peers who are so supportive, to have an amazing adult parent support system like we do through our parents, and then these amazing little people who come to school every day with a smile and a laugh, and everything is fun in kindergarten. We have worked so hard this year. We've learned all of our sight words, 100 of them. We know our letters, we know sounds. I know. And I truly believe there's a poem that once I heard it a long time ago about Robert Fulghum. I fell in love with it, and it's everything I need to know I learned in kindergarten. And every day we are doing those things that he talked about in the poem. We are sharing, we are taking turns. When someone says something we don't like, we say sorry, or we say stop that, right? Yep. We learn how to use our words. We learn how to be kind. We learn to be patient. We learn to, when someone falls down, what do you say? Help. Help, or what do you do when you pick them up? I need help. And when you pick them up, what do you ask them? Are you okay, right? And when someone does a good job, we love to clap and cheer for them, right? Yeah. So we made a little video for you because we weren't sure how all that was going to come out tonight. So we put together our favorite questions. I asked them questions, and I asked them to let me know what they wanted to talk about, what we learned this year. So they got to pick a partner, and they shared with us some ideas that we'd like to share with you about some of the things we learned this year at school. All right, so I'm going to let you guys sit here. You can sit in a chair on the floor so you can see. You
start with a capital. It has to make sense, and you get a finger space, and you have to sound out words, and the next letter has to be lowercase.
Anything else? Anything else?
Punctuation at the end.
Wow, that was good. You guys, can you make up a sentence maybe using one of our sight words?
My dad ate a big chicken.
Okay, good. Nate?
My dad jumped very high.
Great job, thank you.
My name's Anthony. My name's Laura. We're going to talk about the U.S. presidents.
Tell me something you learned.
The president is the leader of the United States.
Go on,
The White House.
what about the White House?
The presidents live in there.
Good.
And our president today is Joe Biden.
Anything else? Anything else? Any former presidents?
The first one was George Washington. Abraham Lincoln. 16.
Very good, yeah. Anything else you learned and want to share?
The first one was George Washington, and he lived in a different one. He didn't live in the White House.
Okay, well, it wasn't Bill yet, was it?
No.
Okay, great job, thank you.
Hi, my name is Marco. Hi, my name is Edwin. We're going to tell you about maps and globes.
Okay, what'd you learn?
Globes are a sphere, and there's and green is for the island, and blue is for the water.
Good. And then what about maps?
A map is flat, and the water is blue, the land is green, and the directions, you can call them never eat soggy waffle.
And what does that stand for?
North, east, south, and west.
Wow, great job, thank you.
My name is Nolan. My name is Aubrey. And we're going to talk about school rules.
Tell me something you learned this year about school rules.
No.
Look here.
Punchy.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. What else have you learned?
No kicking.
Okay.
No fighting.
All right, anything that you could do that would be a good thing to do?
Not talking over the teacher.
Anything else?
Somebody is holding your finger. Feelings say please stop.
Good. Anything else?
If you're getting bullied, you could say please stop. But if the person is not stopping, you could tell a teacher.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name's Olivia. Hi, my name is Madeline. We're going to tell you about what we learned rhyming. Every word has the same ending, and they don't always have to end the same to rhyme.
Do you have an example of words that are like that?
Cat, hat, mat.
So do those end the same?
Yes.
So what do you know about those words then when they have that kind of ending?
They're in the word family act.
Okay.
And they don't always have to rhyme.
Do you have any other words that don't end the same but rhyme?
Good, could.
Nice job, girls. Thank you.
No, whoa. Hi, my name is Bella, and I'm here with Brooke. We're going to tell you about vowels. The vowels have two sounds, A-E-I-O-U. You took slow sound and long sound.
Are there any other letters that sometimes are vowels?
Yeah, why?
Why? Go
Why
ahead.
is sometimes a vowel?
And if it's not a vowel, what's it called? Do you remember?
A
It's a consonant.
consonant.
Can you spell a word with a vowel in the middle?
Huh?
Which word?
You can spell cat.
Okay, spell it for me.
C-A-T.
And what's the vowel in that word?
A.
Good. Daddy, can you spell a CBC word with a vowel?
Can.
Okay.
C-A-A-N.
All right, what's the vowel in that word?
A.
Good job. Nice job. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Oyan. This is Daphne. We know all ABCs and we're going to teach you all ABCs. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Way to go. Nice
My
job.
name is Savannah. Hi, my name is Hunter. We're gonna show you subtracting. 12 plus 12 equals.
So we're subtracting. Tell me first of all what it means when you use subtraction. What's that mean?
So you have some and you take them away.
Good. All right. How about the signs you use?
You had 6. You have a minus and a equal.
Good. And you remember when you get the answer? What's that called when you get the answer?
The difference.
The difference. Good. Anything else you remember?
You have 6 and you take like 3 away. That equals 3.
Okay. Can you give me a subtraction problem, Hunter?
You have 7 and you take 1 away. Equals 6.
Great job. Thank you. Okay.
Hi, my name is Lewis. Hi, my name is Alia. We're going to tell you how to count by ones to 25.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Excellent. Can you count another way to 100?
10, 20, 40, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100.
What are you counting by there?
10.
By tens. Great job. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
How could you not smile every day if that's what you're coming to work? So, oh, sure. We wanted to play a quick game with you guys if we could. Scooch in. So one of our things is we learned our letter sounds closer to the beginning of the year, but we made a game out of practicing it and letting everyone have their own turn. So the board members have a card. I'm going to ask you to hold up the letter without looking at it. We're going to make the sound, and then you are going to guess what sound we're making, but we can only go one at a time. So we'll start with Dr. Bracy. Okay, so we're going to make the sound. You see Dr. Bracy make the sound and see if she can guess the letter. Is it F? Yes. All right, good. Fascinating. Oh, what sound? Yes. Thumbs up, yeah. All right. Over here. Nice and loud. And the letter is? L. Yes. Over here. Nice and loud. S. Thumbs up. All right, give her a round of applause. thing before we depart from your meeting. We've been practicing the last couple of weeks. We get to put on our program for the parents this year, and we have a bunch of songs we've been practicing. So we picked one out. That's one of our favorites, and it's probably a tune that you're going to recognize as soon as we get started. All right, slide down there. You guys ready? I need good singing. So much. Thank you. Thank you for having me. No, I'll meet you on the hallway. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Ms. Blythe?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Round of applause.
That's all.
And boys and girls, make sure you say thank you to your mom and dad, okay? Thank you, mom and dad.
We're going to go back down for the retirees.
Well, it is time to honor our retirees, and it is a especially wonderful group this year. So I'm going to, I don't know why, they just are. So I'm going to read a little something about each person, and if you could come down and get your gift, I would really appreciate it. The first one is Bonnie Bilski. She here tonight? I'm going to read about her anyway. Bonnie has been a valuable member of the LC custodial staff for 31 years. She was known at Protzman for being extremely helpful, hardworking, and always putting forth effort to anyone who needed help. She was willing to do anything that was needed throughout the building. Bonnie is missed each and every day. Jen Bieber. I'm still reading about her, though. Jen worked as a paraprofessional for many years at both the middle and high school level. She was hardworking and always ready to help any teacher or student. Her dedication to the students she worked with will be sincerely missed. We wish her a happy retirement. Linda Budak. Linda has been in food service for 43 years and gave it her all every day. She loved feeding the kids, enjoyed working, always had a smile on her face, and in the 19 years that Wendy worked with her, it was a pleasure to work and know her. I know Mike's not here because he's in the service, so let me read about Mike Corder. He retired from the Lake Central School Corporation as the head custodian at Watson Elementary. During his time as Watson, Mike was hardworking and willing to tackle projects thrown his way. He has a deep love of our country and was deployed during his final school year for several months. We wish him health and happiness in retirement. Lynn Cowan. Lynn started in the Lake Central School Corporation in January of '08 at Clark Middle School. He was transferred to Protzman in June of '08 as the head custodian. Very handy around the building, always building and fixing things. Lynn is an Elvis fan and a devout White Sox fan. He'll always be remembered at Protzman as the man who spread holiday cheer. He used to come over Thanksgiving break and have everything decorated for the kids in the cafeteria when they returned. Lynn will always be loved by the students and staff and part of the Protzman family. Tim Mr. Kaler Doyle. During the past 30 years, Mr. Doyle has been a staple at Kaler, the first person most people think of when they say Kaler. Mr. Doyle has made a positive and lasting impact on thousands of students, staff, and families, as well as the community. When he first joined Kaler, he served as a social studies teacher and a football and wrestling coach. For the past 25 years, he's been an assistant principal. Mr. Doyle's quick wit and humor, positive connections with students, staff, and families, and his famous fan-favorite haunted house, Doyle's Dungeon, will be sorely missed. He leaves big shoes to fill, but we're happy for him as he starts a new chapter in retirement, and perhaps he'll continue his wrestling career. Good luck with your future book, Always a Kaler Colt.
I was inspired by Mrs. Pavlina's class, I Too Have a Song. No, I'm just kidding. I would just like to say thank you. It's been, I don't know how 30 years flew by at Kaler, but it's been a blast. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Thank you.
Lynette Galagos. She will be retiring as a paraprofessional from Coling Elementary after 18 years of service and has been a valuable part at Coling. She's well-rounded and extremely hardworking para that always went above and beyond for both students and staff. She always stepped up and helped no matter what the task. She's looking forward to spending time in Arizona, don't blame her, with her parents and watching her beautiful new granddaughter, Vivian, with another on the way. We are so happy Lynette will be able to spend time with her family, but she will be missed at Coling. Kevin Gardner. Kevin began teaching at Munster High School for Lake Central as part of the cooperative in the Synergy program. He then moved with the program to Lake Central High School, where he continued to work with students with behavioral and learning challenges. His last few years were teaching basic math and math resources. He was always willing to help out with Homebound Instruction Club and other activities. Thank you, Kevin. Mary Gerlach. Mary hangs up her teaching hat after 21 years in the Lake Central schools. Mary loved playing school as a little girl and started her career in '79 with Creek Monee, where she stayed for 6 years. When she and David became parents, she was lucky enough to stay home and be a stay-at-home mom for 14 years. After being a substitute for Lake Central for a few years, she taught kindergarten at Coling for 1, and then at Bibbage in the first grade for the past 20 years. When Mary's team was asked to share some wonderful things about her, the words listed were kindness, organized, maintaining high expectations, and being a wonderful role model. Mary can't wait to get up whenever she wants and do whatever she wants. She's excited to enjoy her husband, traveling to see her children, and helping her daughter plan the wedding in 2024. Mary will miss the wonderful people she has worked with for the past 20 years, as well as the sweet, awesome children. She's so proud to be able to say, I taught at Bibbage. Tom Gindel. Tom worked for Lake Central for 37 years, 15 as a head mechanic. He was kind, helpful, and always had a solution to a problem. He'd go out of his way to help drivers even if he was busy at the moment. He was a team player and would offer solutions to problems to make everything run smoothly. He saw the positive in situations and would often lighten the mood by joking around. He'll be missed. He was an integral part of transportation, and we wish him the best in the future. Lisa Goodman. Lisa worked for Lake Central for 30 years and always had a caring attitude towards the students she transported. She was a very safety-conscious bus driver, had a playful attitude, and was always willing to help other drivers. Easy to get along with, but never afraid to give her opinion. I like that. She will be missed on Bus 87. Karen Gross. Karen has taught faithfully at Grimmer Middle School since 1990. She impacted countless lives through her 33 years of faithful, dedicated educators. Karen has displayed nothing but the highest character while teaching. I'm grateful she stayed for one more year, which allowed my oldest daughter to have her. Karen is irreplaceable and has built herself a wonderful legacy. Grimmer Middle School wishes her the very best in her retirement. Congratulations. Diane Hanley. Diane has served the Lake Central School Corporation faithfully since 1994. In her 29 years of service, she has yet to meet a problem that she cannot solve. She's helped countless people, ranging from students to principals. She's irreplaceable. However, we're in her debt as she's dedicated her last month to training her replacement. Servant leadership at its best. Grimmer Middle School wishes her the very best in her retirement. Congratulations. Susan Hofstra was the ELL para for Coling Elementary and hired by the district in 2005. She has been one of Coling's most beloved and respected paras during her time due to her natural ability to connect with students and teachers and the teacher-like initiative she had to support the academic growth of her students. Susan was always kind to all, looks forward to more time with her loved ones and family, including her husband Steve, her children Sam, Seth, and Sarah, and especially her new granddaughter, Lily. Susan was a dream para and will be deeply missed. Mary Howes. Mary has been the Coling Elementary cook for 3 years and in food service for 15. She's been such an asset to Coling. She's a great cook, and she loves the kids. It's going to be difficult to say goodbye, but we wish her well in her retirement and hope she'll come back as a substitute. Connie Jordan. Connie worked for the corporation for 25 years, serving all of her years at the high school. She started her career on weekend security, moved to her own section on 3-11, and ended her career doing laundry on the day shift. With her affectionate smile and her laugh, Connie was always happy and in a positive mood. Always willing to go above and beyond on her daily duties, she was one-of-a-kind employee and she will be forever missed. Dawn Kruk. It's bittersweet as we celebrate her retirement. She's been a valuable member of the Protzman staff. She's been a Protzman Panther for 17 years. Dawn is one of the first faces that Protzman students see each day as she greets our bus drivers as they arrive to begin each day. She was a staple in the kindergarten classrooms as she was a wonderful support to our little ones as they navigated through their first year of school. She also worked on our playground, in our cafeteria, and anywhere and everywhere that she was needed. She'll be truly missed. We wish her all the health and happiness she deserves. Nancy Makoviak. Nancy always wanted to be a teacher, but was discouraged by many people because there was lack of job in the 80s. She's been teaching for 40 years, starting at Our Lady of Grace, moving to second grade, and reading specialist at Bibbage. She has never regretted her decision to teach, always saying, I'm going to school, not work, because I'm always learning something new. Nancy has served on numerous school and corporation committees to help better education and safety for students. Her proudest moment was being chosen to accept the National Blue Ribbon School Award in Washington, D.C. on behalf of Bibbage. Her colleagues appreciate her dedication to the students and teachers at Bibbage. She's the one that started the One School, One Book at Bibbage, which grew to the One Corporation, One Book. She will mostly miss the students and staff at Bibbage who make her feel honored to be a Bibbage Bulldog. She's the true meaning of Bibbage family. Wait, I got one more thing. And she throws the best parties. Susan Mamrilla. There. This is from Rebecca. She wrote this for you. I came to the school in 2007 as a school psychologist with limited experience working with the preschool population. Sue Mamrilla taught me everything I know about working with our youngest learners. She has an amazing ability to make the most nervous preschool students and their parents feel comfortable in what can be a very overwhelming situation. She understands child development, knows what supports will help young children reach their fullest potential. She is a master of sneaking speech and language therapy into pretend play, finger plays, songs, and snack time. In addition to supporting our students and families, Sue has mentored teachers, SLPAs, and paraprofessionals. Lake Central Early Childhood as a program is today because of her knowledge and expertise. Sue has brought to the program. She will be sorely missed, and we hope she enjoys her retirement and her grandson, Atlas. Happy camping, Sue. Gail McQuillan. Gail served Watson School as a paraprofessional for many years. During her time at Watson, she was known as the voice of the car rider line. Gail was always willing to lend a hand and would do anything for students and staff. We wish her a happy retirement, and we're thrilled that she plans on remaining a substitute. Mindy Medema. It's truly been a pleasure to have Mindy as a member of the Protzman staff. She's been a staple at Protzman for 21 and a half years. She's one of the first faces Protzman students see each day as she greets our car riders and assists those students out of their cars, making sure they have their backpacks, hats, gloves as they enter the building to begin the day. Mindy has worked throughout the building supporting students with a smile and love for each and every one of them. She's been an essential piece to the Protzman puzzle. She will be truly missed, but we're happy for her because she'll have the extra time to relax and spend with her family. Joan Nemchek. We will truly miss you. Thank you so much for everything you have done for us. May all the years ahead bring you great joy and well-deserved relaxation. I hope you know you've a blessing for all of us here at Clark. This is from Scott. Happy retirement. A wonderful lady who exemplifies hard work, dedication, always looking out for the kids and staff. Copy that, 10-4. An individual who loves her family as well as her Clark family. Personable, friendly, compassionate, and most of all, a beautiful personality inside and out. Her position at Clark will be hard to fill due to her continued self-sacrifices. Best wishes, you'll always be part of the Clark family. To say we miss you is a gross understatement. I know they say no one was replaceable, but in this case, I'd say you're truly the exception. No matter what the situation, Joan is there in a heartbeat with a smile on her face, ready to do what's needed. Scott wishes you nothing but the best of health and a world of happiness in your next chapter. Thank you for everything. Mary Jo Olenek. There she is. She has been a valued member of the Watson family for many years. She has an amazing passion for teaching, which shines through to her students. Mary Jo has always gone above and beyond at Watson. Her dedication to students, staff, and Watson families will be missed. We're excited for her to be able to enjoy her retirement and her family. Our hope is she spends quality time at her second home in Hawaii. We can get tickets, you know. Thank you. Sylvia Polito. Sylvia was part of Holman for many years. Everyone knew if they wanted to know something about Holman, go to Sylvia. She was always on top of it, one of the hardest workers I ever met. Even when you told her something could wait, she still did it immediately. She took great pride in the cleanliness of the building. Working as a custodian and then moving to the head custodian position was definitely a natural move for her. When Sylvia said she was going to retire, it was hard for us to accept, but we knew it was time for her to enjoy her family and her grandchildren, and now she has time to do that. All of us at Holman wish her the best in retirement. Tammy Rauch. Tammy worked for Lake Central for 11 years and was always one of those drivers who truly understood her responsibility as a school bus driver. She strove to do the best job she could every day. The students on Bus 11 loved her as a bus driver, and she felt the same in return. She was always ready to help new drivers. She was positive and kind. Maureen Yeager. I saw her here. I'd like to offer congratulations, this is from Erin Novak, on your upcoming retirement. I'm excited for you, but the announcement comes with some sadness. The department will miss your dedication to your craft, your passion for students, and the depth of knowledge you possess for the arts. Most importantly, we will miss the wonderful person that you are. Your presence will never be forgotten, as you have a great mentor and friend to the next group of art teachers at Lake Central High School. Erin knew that she could always count on you to work towards your high standards, whether it was sponsoring the art club, teaching your class, adapting to the seemingly endless curriculum changes. I also know you well enough to know you will never fully be retired. Please keep in touch so you can update us on your next adventures. Larry Zach. Larry is retiring from teaching music at Coling Elementary. Larry taught music at Dalton and Griffith before being hired at Lake Central to teach music at the elementary school that he attended as a child. Larry is known for engaging every class in music through rhythm and movement, and for having a classroom that was a perfect balance of work and laughter, and for a credible ability to almost never forgetting a student's name, even post-graduation. Larry was recognized as the Lake Central Teacher of the Year in 2022, and recently as an April 2023 Teacher of Excellence by the Allen Law Group. Larry looks forward to his retirement with his wife Kathy and enjoying many rides on the bike trails. He has made a significant impact on many and will be missed.
And we have one more person to recognize this evening, and that is my friend and coworker, Terry Mucha. As you can see, she likes to work right up to the bitter end. I offered to read those comments for her tonight, but she wanted to do it. But before she gets her award, I have a few things to say. Terry Mucha has served the students and staff of Lake Central for the past 5 years. When she first arrived, one administrator in her office politely informed her that some of her ideas were too radical for Lake Central. After adjusting quite well to this advice, Terry came up with so many good ideas that I had to create a Terry's Good Idea list that was posted on the door that connects our offices. Among Terry's contributions to LC are making our central office communications less wordy, always meeting with concerned staff members in a kind and compassionate manner, and she hosted 2 consecutive and delicious We Hate COVID lunches. Although I do need to disclose that she lost some points when we did not have all-you-can-eat Popeyes at the Year 2 celebration.
How many times can you eat Popeyes?
Terry brought her passion for service with her from Highland, adapted quickly to the challenges in our district, and was all in while supporting our stakeholders. We greatly appreciate her contributions to student and staff success. We will miss her sense of humor, and we wish her many happy years of retirement. We have one more group of staff members we want to give special recognition to at this time, and they are the 2 semifinalists for Teacher of the Year for the school corporation and the 2 named award winners. Our first semifinalist, Victoria Thompson, Clark, 5th grade. I'd like to read a few of the comments that came from her nomination, as they're very meaningful. Tori is the prime example of what a teacher should encompass. She is kind to all, passionate about her job, and makes learning fun for all of her students. She works so hard every day to make sure her students leave her class better than they came. She is a great colleague to work with, is always willing to help teachers out, whether it's with tech problems, lesson plans, or how to solve a math problem. She can do it all. She inspires me to be as patient, empathetic, and productive as she is every day. I'm so lucky to work with and learn from such an amazing teacher. Tori. Our second semifinalist is Susan Thompson, Grimmer, grade 5. Susan goes above and beyond what we expected of any teacher. Susan transforms her room into themes that go with her lessons. Several recent examples are a glow-in-the-dark video game and a March Madness arena. Susan is always coming up with engaging, out-of-the-box ideas that make learning fun with a classroom atmosphere that all students enjoy. When it comes to school spirit, few can keep up with Mrs. Thompson, and she goes all in, dressing up as a rock star, princess, video game characters, and more. I can think of no greater complainant than I want my own child to have the privilege of being in her classroom. Susan Thompson. I should have mentioned earlier that the beauty of the Teacher of the Year award is that the nominations come from fellow teachers. It's not something that comes from the community or from administration. It's from people who work alongside of other folks and truly appreciate and admire the work they've done. And so on behalf of the selection committee who narrowed it, and we picked two winners this year, we do want to congratulate all of the teachers who were nominated, 37 different staff members in the corporation, because it is an honor to be nominated. And then, of course, our 2 semifinalists. And now for this year's Teacher of the Years. First, Rhonda York, Lake Central High School, English. Rhonda is an incredibly dedicated and talented educator. She has helped to expand and reform the AP English curriculum at the high school over the last 2 years, taking on new classes, new responsibilities, and never shying away from a chance to create amazing opportunities for our students. She piloted the AP research program at Lake Central last year and has continued to grow and develop those courses in the AP capstone program. She is also the sponsor of NHS and coordinates volunteer opportunities for her students on a daily basis. She implemented a peer tutoring program at the high school that gives NHS students a chance to earn volunteer hours while also providing opportunities for all of our students to seek out academic help in a safe environment. Rhonda is an invaluable resource and has helped make LC the place it is today. Rhonda York. And our second Teacher of the Year, Devin Moore, Protzman Special Education. Devin Moore has the patience of a saint. She is the calm that the students in her room need. She uses the strengths of her paraprofessionals in her classroom to support the needs of each individual student. Each individual that Devin encounters is treated with love and care. Devin is a hard worker. Her why is evident. She cares so much for all students and does not give up when faced with a challenging situation. She leads by example and manages her team of paraprofessionals wonderfully. Devin creates a positive work environment which helps everyone who work with her smile through even the toughest times. She is very deserving of this award. Devin. So it's really nice at the end of the year for us to be able to celebrate the careers of people who have dedicated their lives to the students that we all serve. We also appreciate the opportunity at the same time to recognize special teachers who have been recognized by their peers. Unfortunately for us, some of the celebration also means that in a couple of weeks, we're going to have to try to replace these people that have done such a great job for us. So we wish them all well, and we truly mean that, but we also will miss them because their service to our kids is what makes LC what it is. So thank you all for coming. Thank you for all of your service and time, and all of you that are coming back next year. You know, rest up this summer because next year will be just as hard as this year. So we're going to move on with the rest of our meeting. You're welcome to stay if you like, or this would be a time for you to scoot if you have other things you need to take care of. Thanks for coming.
Good job. Yes. I know it's got to bug you for a lot of people that don't come.
Yeah, it does. Some of them don't even want to come. They're like, I just want to go out quietly. Can you respect that? I can respect that. But it's like a little bitter.
Some people,
Yeah. Think they never got promoted,
right,
or
whatever.
you know, some rule didn't go their way, like they wanted to. They
He's for sure
ran out.
Oh,
so,
shut the door. Yes.
Job protection. But
And I thought that was his wife. It's his daughter.
But yeah, it bugs
But-
me that half the people don't come. I really almost prefer that we don't read the comments and the people don't come.
Yeah. I think so.
Terry insisted on, I'm not going to fight her on that.
Yeah,
'cause
no.
she's
That's
good
not a
and loyal
battle
person.
worth fighting.
No.
Yeah. But I'm with you on that.
The problem with that is if we mess up and somebody comes late and doesn't check in, so
Right.
they don't think they're here. You know, it's-
Right.
That's when I started reading them.
Yeah.
There's no way that happens. What?
You're taking a bowl.
I don't know. You take that bowl and like it.
I'm going to take that bowl.
Ready to continue?
Yes.
Okay, my final item this evening is just to seek board approval for a professional leave request for Mr. Moreno. We were made aware of the statewide conference in technology the day after our last board meeting, and because the agenda had several items on it that he and I both felt were very applicable to his position, I told him that he would go and we would seek approval after the fact. I want to reiterate to the board that it's not our preference to bring things to you after we've done it. But it is also important for our directors who are not in the education side to continue to seek professional development, once or twice a year, because there's a lot changing, whether it's Mr. James with the financial end, or Rick, or Bill with facilities, or even food service. So it's important that we take advantage of the good opportunities when they come along. So seek board approval for that leave at this time.
So moved.
Motion by Dr. Melko,
Second.
second by Dr. Medlin. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. And now on to our Director of Human Resources Personnel, Mrs. Mucha.
Thank you. I'm requesting the closed personnel recommendations be approved.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Marshall,
Second?
second by Mrs. Kelly. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. I have also included in your packet a request to hire certified staff members from May through August so we can catch the good ones while they're here.
So moved.
Motion by Dr. Malco.
Second.
and second by Dr. Medlin. Any discussion?
Just in addition, I'm assuming that your request, which is in your name, will be carried forward to Sarah.
I think she's in agreement with that. Yes.
Very good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Last week I gave you a copy of the updated administrative handbook, and I'm asking for your approval for that.
Motion to approve?
Motion by Mrs. Kelly, and I will second that. Any discussion?
I just had a question that I sent to Dr. Bracco and Mrs. Mucha at the bottom of page 13 and 14, and I look for them to kind of resolve it. I'm not promoting any changes, just, it was something that caught me off guard because I've been told different things, and I wanted to make sure our language was in alignment with what we were saying. So I'll let them figure it out the best way.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. I also gave you last time a classified handbook, and I am asking your approval for that for this coming school year.
Move to approve the classified handbook?
Motion by Dr. Medlin.
Second.
Second by Dr. Malco. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. My second to the last item is a professional leave form for Deanne Leva to go to her conference this summer.
So moved.
Motion by Dr. Malco.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Kelly. Thank you. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
I just wanted to tell you that by your places is a list of all the summer school staffing teachers for this summer, and I just wanted you to have that.
Thank you. And now on to our Director of Primary Education, Dr. Bracy.
Good evening. I am seeking approval for the professional leave request in your packets.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dr. Malco and a second by Mr. Marshall. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
And our,
Could I make a comment to Dr. Bracy? I was, this data that you gave us
Yes.
several weeks ago, and I finally did take the time to study it. And it's really amazing to me what our teachers have done. Phonics, for example, started the school year with 72% one grade level below, and now there's only mid-year, only 31%. So I'm anxious to see what the end of the year, but boy, the phonics, and I notice also in the comprehension, the literature, the text. So when you mentioned COVID did make an impact, it really did.
It
And
did.
this is just so obvious right here when we see these scores. So thanks for sharing those.
And, kudos to our teachers and our administrators. They have done the work. And you'll be even more surprised when you see the end of the year scores.
I can't wait.
Yes.
It's very, very good.
Yes.
Congratulations to all of them, and you too.
Thank you.
thank you. Our next is our Director of Secondary Education, Mrs. Castaneda.
Thank you. For my first item, I am seeking your approval for the professional leave requests.
Motion to approve?
Motion by Mrs. Kelly, and I will second that. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes, thank you.
And for my second item, I am seeking your approval for the field trip requests.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Marshall,
Second.
second by Dr. Medlin, excuse me. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Lost my train of thought, sorry.
And then for my third item, I wanted to update the board on a small change for our inclement weather days for next school year. On Monday, May 8th, we had our e-learning committee meet to review how things went this school year and determine how we wanted to move forward. We also had surveyed the staff to see how they felt as well. The majority of our staff still wanted to continue on with synchronous e-learning. However, the committee did ask if it was a possibility for us to add a built-in snow day similar to what some other districts do. After discussing it, we agreed that President's Day next school year will be a built-in snow day. And for those who may not be familiar, the way a built-in snow day works is if we have bad weather before President's Day, that day would be a true snow day without any e-learning in any school, and instead we would come to school on President's Day. If we don't have any bad weather before that date, then that would still be a day off for students and staff. The committee was pleased with that, and so we're going to give it a try for next school year, and we'll get communication out to our families as well about this change. Any questions?
Mrs. Castaneda, yes. Did you say that you surveyed all the staff members about it also?
Well, we surveyed them of whether they wanted to do the synchronous e-learning or add days to the end of the school year. Though the majority wanted to continue with synchronous, there was a sizable amount that just wanted a true snow day. Our calendar next year ends just against the Memorial Day weekend, so we didn't want to add to the end of the school year, so that's why we felt the built-in day might be a good option.
Okay. But you did have input from the staff?
Yes,
Is what you're saying.
365
Okay,
staff members filled out the
that's what I
survey.
thought. Okay, thank you.
And then for my last item, I would like to bring up Principal Aaron Novak, who is going to give us an AP update.
I was terrified that the computer works.
Wow.
So are you going to use the? Yeah. Okay, yes, I got a copy here. You also have a hard copy.
Thank you.
All right, so just like Miss Pavlina said with the kindergartners, it's a joy to come to work and work with so many talented kids and teachers. And, you know, kindergarten is a lot of fun, as was clearly demonstrated this evening by that wonderful group of kindergartners. But so is working with high school students and getting them ready for their futures and sending them off into very rewarding careers and college futures. So I'm always very lucky to kind of be the ringleader in all of that. So just to start off, first of all, when we have this much information from our AP scores, it's hard to pinpoint exactly the very precise information that I think is beneficial for our school community to hear about. So this presentation is pertaining to our 2022 scores. We did just wrap up AP testing on Friday. We do still have some makeup exams to take, but for the most part, the big whirlwind of it is over for 2023. Make sure it's turned on. Oh. It's the little things I struggle with. I got it. All right, we're good. All right, so first I just want to give everybody just a indication of some of the AP exam or AP courses that we offer at Lake Central High School. In total, College Board offers about 38 AP exams, and we're lucky enough to offer 22 to 23, 24, depending on some courses of independent study that students may pursue on their own. So that's our current list of AP courses offered at Lake Central High School. We have quite a bit. We do have a new course coming. That exam will be offered in 2024, so beginning the next school year, we will be offering AP Pre-Calculus as well. A little bit about how AP exams are scored in case you're not completely familiar with it. A student can earn a score anywhere from 1 to 5, and the goal is to earn a score at 3. And the reason behind that 3 is because you can be awarded college credit for earning a score of 3 or higher. So in Indiana, an AP score of 3 or higher is awarded as credit automatically at any of our state's public institutions. Private colleges can make up their own criteria and use these as starting points for what kind of credits they're going to award for students scoring on their AP exams. So you can kind of see the breakdown. Again, 3 is the goal. 3 is kind of the magic number. 3 means that that student is qualified, and that's the equivalent of a B minus, C plus, or C. Very well qualified would be a score of a 4, A minus, B plus, or B. And then 5 is extremely well qualified, the best score you can receive on an AP exam, and that would be the equivalency of an A plus or an A in that college course. So the so what in all of that, here's all of our data. So this is what I wanted to do for this presentation. I did a very similar presentation last year. So I wanted to take some of that information from 2021 and compare it to our 2022 scores, and then I also compared it to the state of Indiana, our performance. So this is a familiar screen. These are our score summaries from 2021. If you look down at the bottom, there was 1,395 AP exams taken at Lake Central High School in 2021. And then you can see the breakdown of how many students earned a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. And what we are absolutely most proud of, if you look at those columns in the 3s, 4s, and 5s, you do see some of our higher numbers. So that is outstanding, great performance, a lot of college credits earned by our students, which is amazing. So that's 2021. I know it's a lot of information to digest, and I have a couple of easier charts coming up. This is our 2022 score summary, and if you note down at the bottom, you can see that there was 1,373 exams taken at Lake Central High School in 2022. Like I said a few minutes ago, we just wrapped up our 2023 AP testing. We had about 1,500 exams registered for. Some kids will opt out of taking those exams, so we are looking at a final number somewhere in 1,400s. So we did go up a little bit more, but that will be for another presentation next school year. I think people saw the AP report and bolted from this meeting. So it's time to enjoy retirement for many. So for our 2021 and 2022 exam numbers, what I wanted to do is look and see if we're still having the same amount of students taking those AP exams. So if you look, the blue columns are from 2021 and the orange columns are 2022. So you can see that we're pretty well balanced. There's a little bit of fluctuation. We've had some fluctuation in our student population. The high school population is at some of its lowest numbers right now, so I think that could tie into it as well. Also 2021, in a couple of screens, I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but I think 2021 we saw a dip in some of our AP numbers, and I think coming off the pandemic, I think some students were hesitant or reluctant to maybe dive into an AP course, with coming off of e-learning and all of those other obstacles that may have stopped them from taking an AP course. But I think we are on the upswing. I think we're recovering from the pandemic, but I do think there is a little bit of a gap or a decline from that pandemic. All right, so the Indiana state average, the most recent data that I could find that was available to compare us to the state of Indiana is from 2020. The so what in this screen, if you do the math, this is their chart of the number of exams with scores of 3s, 4s, and 5s. So if you look at the lighter blue column, and if you do the math, the state of Indiana is averaging somewhere in the 40 to 50% of students earning a 3, 4, or 5. That's all students in the state of Indiana. So in the next slide, you'll see, this is kind of just the raw data of how Lake Central compares to the state of Indiana, our numbers. And then what that looks like, I'm sorry, let me jump ahead. This is how we compare to the state of Indiana. So the state of Indiana is in blue. I jumped ahead for those of you that have the hard copies. If you look at the blue columns, that's the state of Indiana, and if you look at the orange columns, that's Lake Central High School. And I'm very proud to say that we are outperforming the state of Indiana. And again, the most recent data I had from the state was from 2020. So I will continue to keep looking. Hopefully they'll put out some updated data. All right, let me go back. So going back to this screen, if you look, you can see, especially in the last two columns, AP students with scores of 3 or above. Right away I glanced down at 2022, 760. So we definitely had a good increase from 2021 to 2022. That's something that says a lot about our kids, our teachers, a lot of great things happening in those classrooms to get those numbers, so that's outstanding. And this is just our data focusing on Lake Central High School, going back to 2017. So we have 6 years to look at, and if you look at 2022, we're definitely on the upswing. So again, great things happening. Our students are performing very well on these exams. And again, the so what and all of that is that a lot of our students are walking out of Lake Central High School with many college credits already under their belt, and ultimately saving their parents thousands of dollars as well. The College Board will also designate AP Scholars. An AP Scholar is granted to students who receive scores of 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams, and this is throughout their 4 years of high school. You can also be given the distinction of AP Scholar with Honor. That's granted to students who receive an average score of at least 3.25 on all AP exams taken, and scores of 3 or higher on 4 or more of these exams. And then an AP Scholar with Distinction, granted to students who receive an average score of at least 3.5 on all AP exams, and scores of 3 or higher on 5 or more of these exams. So a lot of outstanding work here. So this is how Lake Central adds up to those distinctions. The blue column is from 2021, and the orange column is from 2022. So you can see we had a pretty big increase just in our AP Scholars, so those kids earning scores of 3 or more. This is where I think we're seeing a little bit of a dip from the pandemic, the AP Scholar with Honor. So I think there are going to be more students. I'm interested to see our scores from this year, because I think we're going to see that column raise a little bit more. So there was a little bit of a decline back on that slide where it showed all of Lake Central's numbers. If you look at the amount of exams taken in 2021, there was a decline there for a little bit. And I do think that's related to the pandemic. But I'm curious to see our scores from this year, and I do expect to see that column is going to go up a little bit as well. And then we also had more students earn the AP Scholar with Distinction in 2022 than we did in 2021 as well. One thing that I did not have the ability to add to, had some technical difficulties that we were working through today. We do offer our students the ability to earn an AP Capstone Diploma. In order to earn an AP Capstone Diploma, the student has to have a 3 in AP Research and AP Seminar, and they also have to have a 3 or above in 4 additional AP exams. And in 2022, we had 22 students earn that AP Capstone diploma. And there's also an AP Capstone certificate, and that means the student has to earn a 3 or higher in both AP Research and AP Seminar. And we had 20 students, we had about 6 students earn that. In 2023, this current class, we are anticipating 20 students to earn the AP Capstone diploma. So again, amazing accomplishments of many students. One of the greatest tools that we have, we take the PSAT exam, and that also gives our counselors the ability to look at their potential in taking some of these exams and taking the courses that we offer at Lake Central High School. So what College Board does, it kind of generates a report of every student who takes the PSAT. I know this is a lot of information to look at, but it breaks it down for each student in each category and each AP exam that's offered. And it indicates whether or not, based on their PSAT score, if they think they would be successful in taking that course or that exam. One of the things that sticks out to me always is when I look at fourth column from the left, it indicates computer science principles, and if you notice, almost every student has a Y. And computer science is nothing to laugh at. That's a pretty difficult course. It's a pretty difficult AP exam. And if you look, it's indicating that many of our students have the ability to do well in that. So again, those things speak very highly about our teachers, our courses, and our students. So this is a tool that we encourage our counselors to use, our students to look at their AP potential, and if they're thinking, well, maybe I don't know if I want to take this course, I don't know if I'm going to be successful, this is something that can help maybe push them in that direction. And then I always like to give credit to where credit is well-deserved, and that is our teachers. That's a picture of all of our AP teachers. They do an outstanding job. They pour a lot of heart and soul into their programs and work very closely with their kids. I know a lot of them had little gifts for them as they were taking their AP exams and wrote all kinds of motivational sayings, so they put a lot of time into it. They're a great group of people. All right, I'm welcome to answer any questions if you have any. Yes.
You indicated that Lake Central usually offers 22, 23, or 24 courses. Is that about average for most schools in the state of Indiana, or is that higher than most schools, or how do we compare?
That's a good question. I can do a little more research and look into how we compare to some of the schools. Obviously, because we're a bigger school, we can offer more courses. We have more to offer our students just based on our size alone. We definitely offer more than a private school could, just based on our size. But I can do a little more research and compare us to some of the Duneland schools. I would say we're pretty compatible with them. But again, with us being one of the larger schools, we can offer more.
And when you were talking about the capstone, I remember last year when they presented that award, I was so impressed. And so I spent some time talking to Rhonda York and Ms. Clark.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't put it all together when I was talking to them, but then I was talking to a young man who works very closely with College Board, and he said that the capstone diploma is an equivalent to the International Baccalaureate. And I remember years ago as a principal thinking, oh, I love International Baccalaureate, would be so cool. And it sounds like you're doing it with the capstone.
I always thought of them as kind of two different entities. There's the IB program and then AP as well, but they're very similar in many aspects.
What I was told is that it was College Board's way to compete against the IB.
Yes, yeah.
So,
A lot of similarities. Yeah.
congratulations, it's a great.
No, it's all due to the teachers and the kids.
And the leadership.
Yep.
Awesome, thank you for the
Yeah.
report.
You're welcome.
Good job.
Yep.
Aaron, great job.
The kindergartners were a lot more excited.
Good presentation, Aaron.
Thank you. And now we'll move on to our Director of Student Services, Mrs. Gramala.
My only item tonight is to seek your approval for the professional leave request that was included in the board packet.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Marshall,
I'll second that.
second by Mrs. Kelly. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now our Director of Facilities, Mr. Ledyard.
Thank you, Mrs. Seuss. I just have an update on the projects here for the board tonight. On the Bibbage project, we're finishing up some surveying here this week, and we'll be moving equipment in sometime this week as well, and we should start hauling dirt early next week. So we have a lot of loads of fill to bring in on that west side, so that should all start early next week. As far as Grimmer, we're getting ready to revamp up that project. We've been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work since school started last fall. In the back of house, boiler rooms, mezzanines, those type of areas, but we'll get ready to gear up here with the end of the school year. We did get word today, part of that project is 14 air handlers, which we approved and awarded last April and ordered them immediately, and found out just today that 12 of the 14 are due to arrive as scheduled next week. We're still looking at 13 and 14 and trying to get more information on those, but it's that post-pandemic supply chain, especially with electronics and HVAC equipment. So again, we ordered these 14 months ago, so we do have 12 of them coming, so I'll keep the board posted. And the varsity softball and baseball lights, Dr. Veracco and I got confirmation last week. We are on the agenda for this Wednesday to appear in front of the St. John Plan Commission study session to present the project to the Plan Commission. And I'm sure we'll have a lot of questions and we'll get some feedback. And if everything goes well, we would appear in front of the regular Plan Commission meeting on June 7th.
Are you anticipating a good, a meeting on the 17th?
All we got feedback was we're on the agenda. So I'm hoping for a good meeting.
I'm thinking so. I think people are starting to realize that it's a real detriment to our extracurriculars that we don't have those lights out there. And Bill, I happened to be at Bibbage today, and I noticed the concrete out front of the main door, totally crumbling apart.
Yeah, we'll do something with that. We didn't want to do too much because of the construction, but we'll do something with that. I
Yeah.
noticed that too, but I've been out there a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Wish you both luck on Wednesday.
Thank you.
And now our Director of Business Services, Mr. James.
Thank you. My only item is to seek your approval for the donation that was listed in your board packet.
Motion to approve?
Motion by Mrs. Kelly,
Second?
second by Mr. Marshall. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
And there are no public comments, so we'll move right into our board comments and consideration of future agenda items. Mr. Marshall?
Nothing of any length or duration. It seemed like all the activities tonight are the culmination of a very successful school year, even though we're not completely done. But my hat's off to everybody involved.
Very well said. Mrs. Kelly?
Congratulations and many thanks to all of our many retirees for their service to the school corporation, and have fun.
Thank you. Dr. Medlin?
Again, congratulations to the teachers, staff, and administrators who retired. We appreciate your service. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Malko?
Well, same as what the others have said, but I also would like to celebrate the corporation-level jazz band concert that was held. I believe most of you were at the ISBA meeting that evening at T-Bowles. But with the corporation jazz concert, it's so cool. If you haven't been to one, you should try to get to one next year. the 3 middle school jazz bands and the 2 high school bands. And this year, they had 2 guest artists. They had a bass player, a bassist, and they had a trumpet. And it was just so cool. It was a great, great evening. Do we know anything about technology, Larry? How's that coming along with our email services
It's still out, and we're working on it.
right
so,
now?
Yeah, we've already forewarned the staff that they need to prepare for another day without service for tomorrow.
Okay. All right, thank you, that's all.
Thank you, and on top of all of what you all said, Mrs. Grimala, your unified track today was awesome, phenomenal. Yeah. Very, very well done, so.
Most of the credit, if not all, goes to Bonnie Groover, who's our adaptive
Okay.
PE teacher, who really pulled everybody together. She teaches the students all the skills. She puts everybody in heats after she times everyone. So Bonnie really deserves the applause for that. But it was a great day, and I'm glad, I appreciated seeing everybody there, and glad to bring it back after 4 years, so.
Absolutely.
Wasn't it cool to see them all marching together?
Yeah,
I loved it.
yeah.
But now I'm confused on something because I see on the calendar that there's a unified track meet in Bloomington.
Yes,
Do
so, no, these students do not. Unified Game Day is sort of the precursor to Unified Sports, which is through the IHSAA. So Lake Central has a unified track team where students with disabilities and students without disabilities participate together and compete against each other. So that is a combined activity between the IHSAA and Special Olympics Indiana.
And we do have
We do have a track team, yes.
Okay, I was confused. Thank you.
Well, the weather was great, so
Yes,
good for you.
Well, a round of applause for Bonnie Groover then.
yeah.
And I know that we forewent our liaison committee updates, but Dollars for Scholars did award 86 scholarships to graduating seniors last Wednesday. And then just a quick little note with the St. John Parks, I believe they've met with Dr. Varacco and team, and they're going to be moving the Sunday farmers market from the community outpatient center to right over by the soccer field over there in that parking lot. So that will be happening, I believe, in June.
June 13th.
June 13th, there we are. So that will be happening. So that's exciting for the Parks Department, and that's all I have. So I'll pass it over to Dr. Varacco for board calendar of future activities.
Okay, well, it's nearing the end of spring sports season, so I encourage everybody to check the calendars for season-ending tournaments. I know we have a big matchup, back and forth, home and home series with Crown Point in baseball tomorrow and Wednesday, and lots of other stuff coming up with the sectionals and track this week. So encourage people to check out that, or at least follow along on our sports Twitter feed. And then May 31st is our graduation. It's coming up quick, so looking forward to that evening too. Thank you.
And with that, do we have a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, and we are adjourned.